So do you ever kind of reflect on your life, or like even the past 3 weeks, and think, oh my goodness, this is just so twisty, turny, it doesn't really seem to make any sense. What am I doing? What am I meant to be doing? I'm just not clear at all. So how could I possibly even think about writing a book, or like even sharing a post on social media, because I'm kind of feeling a bit flaky. Well, I wanted to speak to you a little bit about that today, because this morning I got a message from a friend, like a dear friend, who reminded me of my very first workshop that I ran. I think it was back in 2013, and I'd been in business a few years. I had my own hypnotherapy practice, but I was just starting to take some of the business online. And in my hypnotherapy practice, a lot of the work that I did was around weight loss. I had a lot of women and some men as well coming to me for help to lose weight. So when I started to take my business online, I was like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to focus on, because there's a big demand for it. So this first workshop was around that. And I say weight loss, it wasn't really, like none of the work I did. You know, it was always more about kind of self-love and loving your body, and obviously kind of clearing any unconscious blocks that you had to not loving yourself, basically. But anyway, it was kind of like on the surface level, it was focused on weight loss. Oh my goodness, why am I spending so long talking about that part of it? Anyway, my friend came along to my first workshop. I think I had about 5 people there, and 2 of those was my friend and my sister, and there were like 3 other people. And it was a really big thing for me at the time, and my friend reminded me of it because at the workshop at the end I got everyone to write a letter to their future self, like a few months in the future, like kind of congratulating them for all the incredibleness that they'd created in their life since. And I think I kind of kept the letters at the end and sent them out a few months later. My friend had just found hers, and she was like, oh my goodness, it's like quite emotional to look back at this. And she sent me a photo of the letter. It was just really beautiful to receive. But it made me reflect on, like I said to her in the message, it just feels like, you know, we've both kind of lived a lifetime since then. It feels like a whole other lifetime, even though it was only 7 years ago. And the path that I've taken since then, you know, from focusing on weight loss in my business, and then I had some time when I was focusing on like money mindset and helping people with that. And then, you know, I kind of got the call to write my first book, which was Heal You're in a Good Girl. And actually it was that started to help me get really clear on what I was here to do, through writing Heal You're in a Good Girl and then Unbound. You know, that really helped me anchor into who I am and what, you know, the work that I'm here to do in the world. But there's been a lot of twists and turns along the way, and you know, even starting the Unbound Press, that was completely unexpected. It's like an opportunity that was presented to me, and I chose to follow it, even though, you know, it kind of didn't make complete sense at the time, because I had no idea how to run a publishing company. And you know, at that time I wasn't even really thinking about helping other women to write books, but I've kind of followed those breadcrumbs of inspiration along the way, and now it feels like, oh, okay, it finally makes sense. But like I said, you know, there have been a lot of twists and turns. So if you are experiencing that, I guess I wanted to say 2 things to you today. One is, like, that's just the way life is. It's completely normal. It's this process of not even finding out who you are, just remembering who you are, really. And actually it's those twists and turns that kind of help you to remember more deeply who you are, because sometimes when we go in a direction, it's like, oh, actually this is not for me. You know, you kind of realize it, and you might not realize it for a while. But that gives you so much information about, you know, who you really are and what feels in alignment for you and what you do want to do. And you can look at this kind of on a really macro level, like the whole of your life, or you could look at it like just through the course of one day or 1 week or 1 month. I know I kind of change my mind about things so many times, even during the course of a day, like what I want to do, what I want to share, what I want to express. It's all good, you know, it's all this process of getting to know yourself more deeply, and it's actually what makes your story really interesting. It's those twists and turns that when you do come to write a book, you know, sharing those is what kind of creates connection with your reader. It's not the parts when everything's like flowing really nicely and straightforwardly, you know, that doesn't make an interesting story. So like relish your twists and turns. And also, you know, don't wait until it all makes sense to start sharing and to start expressing yourself, and to start writing your book. If you're feeling the call to write a book, don't wait, or don't feel you have to wait until you've got it all figured out. I always say don't wait for clarity, write for clarity. And actually the process of writing a book will like anchor you more deeply into yourself. Sorry, I think something's biting me right now. You know, that in itself is going to help you remember who you are. I think writing a book, part of it is this process of remembering, and kind of peeling back some of those layers that you might have accumulated that are not you. So yeah, that's certainly what's kind of happened for me through the process of writing my books and continuing to write them. I'm sure there's many more twists and turns along the way. But I just wanted to say to you today, because I know a lot of us are actually feeling like this right now, because there's so much kind of turbulence in the world and things are changing very quickly, and it can feel challenging to really be grounded in ourselves and to know kind of what to do, what to create, what to express, what to share in any moment. But actually the process of writing, and specifically writing a book, can be incredibly grounding in that way. So I'd really encourage you to write your way through it. And if you are feeling the call to write a book and you would like to find out some more about how I can support you with that, because I would love to do that. I'd love to hold space for you to share your magic with the world through the form of a book. Just DM me. There's a few different ways that we can do that, and yeah, I'd love to explore that some more with you. So just send me a message and we'll take it from there. Okay, here's to your twisty, turny journey, your unbound journey. I'll see you soon.